lived on this island for, but I will say I have seen and experienced a lot of interesting things on this railway. Some good, some not so good, some great, and some just plain dreadful. But they were adventures nonetheless, and they were some of the most important parts of my life. Now you all know the stories by the great Reverend W. Audrey, and before you ask, yes, they are true. Thomas and his friends have told me so. But the question is, do you know all the stories? Well, I'm here to say that, no, you don't. And while I haven't met the great Reverend himself, I hear he was a good man and a great friend to most on the island. Yes, I said most on the island. But that's a story for another day. But getting back on track, while I'm not a writer, I think it seems right to tell you the stories you never knew about, ones that didn't make it into the railway series, or just ones you've never been told before by any of the engines, or anyone that lives on the railway in general. There is quite a lot of stories, let me tell you. Now I'll be speaking from my experiences, or a few stories I was told back in the day by one of my engine friends, or one of my engine friends would tell the story but from their perspective. Either way, there is a lot to tell, so let's not waste any more time. With that said, my name is Blue, and this is the Untold Stories of Thomas and Friends. Come take a ride with me, and let's go beyond the sea. What's waiting for on the side for you and for me now? We hear the steam and whistles, and we say, hey ho, let's go! Hey yo whoa, this train's rolling, hey yo whoa, rolling on the way down. Because we're telling the untold, hey yo, this train's rolling, hey yo, rolling all the way down. Because we're telling the untold stories now. Hey yo whoa, this train's rolling, hey yo whoa, rolling on the way down. Because we're telling the untold, hey yo, this train's rolling, hey yo whoa, rolling all the way down. Because we're telling the untold stories now. Now, while this first story won't be as exciting as some other ones, but it is, however, very interesting. You see, every engine has their favorite job. Thomas's is working on his branch line, Gordon's is pulling the express, and James, well, anything that doesn't have to do with trucks. But don't tell him I told you, but I think his ego's bigger than the size of Cranky the Crane. I heard that, Blue! Percy's job is pulling the mail train. He loves this job more than anything. Well, besides his friends, of course. He's pulled the mail for many years, and we can see why. Percy will tell you why pulling the mail is an important job. And yeah, it is. Regardless, we all know it means a lot to him. And because of that, when the engines tease about what job someone is doing, they always try to make sure they don't mention the mail train. Because it's one of the few things that Percy gets really sensitive about. Apparently, Gordon forgot about this, and well, this is where the story begins. Gordon was taking the early morning express. He was just about to leave Crosby Station when Percy puffed in with the mail train. Good morning, Percy. How was the mail run last night?
Oh, it was tough last night. My train was so heavy.
Oh, really? How so? Because more people keep coming to the island, more people means more mail. Lots and lots of more mail. And it may not seem like much, but it is. Well, that's because you're a small tank engine, Percy. You're just like little Thomas, small, 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 teeny, weeny, weeny. As for I am a big blue engine who knows everything, and therefore, if I were pulling the mail train, it wouldn't be a problem. Hearing this made Percy snap, and let me tell you, I am so glad I was not there to see this, because the way Gordon described it, It was kinda scary to see Percy act like this. A problem? That's right, little Percy, a problem. The only problem around here is you, Gordon, thinking you're better than everyone. Well, let me tell you, no, you are not. You're just like everyone else. You are not as special as you think. You are actually, in my opinion, nothing but a big blue sausage on wheels. And furthermore, there is no problem at all. I can pull the mail train with 100 cars more and I'd be fine with it. But you can't even get up your own hill with a small goods train. You need someone else to help you. But not all the time. Still, it's happened at least, 100 times? Actually, 250. I have counted. My driver and fireman have made a scrapbook out of it. That's exactly what I mean. Just pathetic. That's what I say. You know, you're a good friend, Gordon, but sometimes you're just a great big jerk. You know that? Maybe think before you say something. I may be small, and I may not know all the big words you know, but I'm a really useful engine, and pulling the mail is exactly that. And I'm the only one who does it. And because of that, it's an important job. And because of that, it is not a problem. Big engines like you are the problem, Gordon. Think about that in your stubby little smoke box. Now if you excuse me, I have work to do, like a really useful engine. Good day. What just happened? You really upset Percy. That's what you did, you big oof. No, Percy's right about one thing. If you think before saying something, maybe you wouldn't get into so much trouble then. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to make him... Oh, maybe Percy is right. But I can't help it. It's just the way I am. But then again, it was because I made fun of the mail train, and he really cares about the job. Oh, what have I done? Well, next time I see Percy, I'll let him know I'm sorry. That's a good boy. Now let's go. We are 2 minutes late. What? Oh no! We better get going. So the guy blew his whistle, and Gordon puffed out of the station. As the day went on, Gordon would see Percy and try to tell him he was sorry, but Percy wouldn't take it. Gordon told the other engines what happened, and they told Gordon the same thing, about thinking before saying, but they too tried to help, but it didn't work. When evening came, I was talking to Thomas when Gordon puffed into the sheds. Oh, what a day. What's the matter, Gordon? Gordon said something mean to Percy, and now Gordon is trying to apologize, but Percy won't accept it. Really? That doesn't seem like Percy. Well, I'll talk to him whenever he gets here. It's funny, though. Percy's the last engine I would expect to get mad at Gordon. Normally, that isn't the case, but it is because I brought up the mail train. Because it's his favorite job, and there was also another reason. Ah, Percy! Just the engine I want to see. Gordon has something to say to you. Oh, fine. If I have to. What do you want to say, Gordon? It better not be about today. Yes, it is about today. But I just want to say that I'm sorry about what I said. I was just being me, except I wasn't thinking about you. I know how you feel about pulling the mail train. You do a great job at it, and you're the only true engine that can do it. And I'm very sorry for making fun of you and saying you couldn't do it. Like James, I was thinking about my ego, then my friend, and I'm sorry. Thank you, Gordon. That really means a lot to me. And I'm sorry too what I said before. I guess we both learned something today. That we did, Percy. Also, now you know what it feels like when you do it to us little engines. Oh. If you don't mind me asking, Percy, but Thomas said there's another reason you get upset when the mail train is made fun of. What is it? Oh, now that's a story to tell. It's a sad one, but an interesting one to say the least.
It's also how Percy became the one engine who pulls the mail train.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Can I hear it?
Yes, can we? It's been a while since I heard that story.
Same here. Well, what do you say, Percy? Oh, okay, I'll tell it. It's been a while since I told it, but I think it's about time Blue knows the story. Well, how's it start, Percy? Well, it was 1 year after I arrived on Sodor, and more people were coming to the island. And because of that, Tom Hatt knew he had to buy more houses, and with a house, there comes a mailbox. And well, you know the rest. So Sir Tom Hatt had decided that a new train had to be made to not only carry the mail, but also deliver it as well. And that's where this story starts. I was shunting at the yard at Nafford Station. Edward, what are those? These, Percy, are the mail cars. These are going to help deliver the mail across the island. I don't know why, but for some reason I was fascinated by this. And when I went to the sheds that evening, I asked Sir Tom Hatt if I could be the first one to pull them. He said yes, but I would need another engine to help, because of the 4 mail cars. When he left, we all talked about who was going to pull the other 2 cars. Gordon said he was too important to pull the mail cars. James didn't know they were red, and I didn't want him to boast about it. I wanted an engine that took the job as seriously as I did. Tom Hatt said it was a very important job. Gordon didn't take the job because of the words of Gordon. Express trains don't pull mail cars and wouldn't be dignified. I didn't know what that meant back then, and I really didn't care at the time. It was many years later when Gordon said it again, but this time I asked him.
Dingy-fried? Puzzled Percy. What's that? Dignified, Gordon corrected.
Anyways, I thought maybe Edward or Henry would want to do it. But then Thomas spoke up. I'll do it, Percy. Oh, would you, Thomas? That would be great. Thank you so much. Anything for a friend, Percy. Of course you agreed to it. You'll agree anything to get attention, like falling into a mine. It's funny you say that, Gordon, because I thought you did the same thing when you fell into a ditch. After all, it was very dignified of you to do so. Oh, why, you little... Besides, Percy and I will do a great job. You'll see. Now if you excuse us, we have to get some sleep, because we have jobs to do tomorrow, like really useful engine. Oh, the indignity. So the next night, Thomas and I were ready. We coupled up to the mail cars, and we were ready to set off. By the time we delivered the mail, it was already dawn. We were puffing back the tin of sheds, and by the time we arrived, everybody was woken up. So, how did it go? It went great. Thomas and Percy had delivered the mail on time, and they did such a good job that I'm happy to say that we found our 2 mail engines. Congratulations to Percy and Thomas. Oh, thank you, everyone. Yes, thank you. So that is how you and Thomas became the engines to pull the mail train. That makes sense. What I don't understand is, how come you pull the mail train and Thomas doesn't? Oh, that's easy. Thomas had been so busy on his branch line that he would keep making his deliveries late. Eventually, Thomas said that he couldn't do it anymore. He wouldn't get enough sleep, and he'd be late for work. So I decided to try pull the mail cars on my own. And well, it didn't go very well. It was a nightmare. I just finished delivering the mail. However, on my way to Nafford, it happened. I woke up in the steamworks. Apparently my brakes had snapped, and well, my body was damaged from the crash. However, I didn't need to worry because Tom had said he would give me a complete overhaul. I should say, while I was at the shop Sir Tom had bought me at, they didn't really have all the money to fix us, and sadly I was one of the engines that didn't get the most repairs, and because of that, I didn't work that well. But when Sir Tom had bought me, he fixed me right up, and when he did, I felt like a new engine out of the factory. The mail cars got a new overhaul too. They looked so good that even James was jealous. It was pretty funny. And that night, I went off to do my favorite job, and I just loved it. And because of my overhaul, I was much stronger, and because of that, I could pull all 4 of the mail cars. And well, we are where we are today. So that's how you became the main engine to pull the mail train. That's really cool. Yes, it is a very interesting story, and it teaches a good lesson about trying new things and proving that you can do things when others say you can't. I couldn't agree more, Edward. Speaking of the mail train, I have to do my favorite job. Good night, everyone. Bye, Percy. Thanks for telling me the story. Night, Percy. Anytime, Blue. Again, for whatever reason, Percy really enjoys pulling the mail train. While he didn't tell us why he gets upset about pulling the mail train, we always make sure not to make fun of it when he is around, just to make him happy and not upset. And while he can get sensitive on the topic, he knows when we bring it up, as rare as it is, it's all for fun and games and not to be mean to him about the mail train, and he knows not to be rude while talking about it as well. And while we all love our jobs, most of us anyways, James. Oh, shut up already! We definitely know that Percy will always love his job most of all, and we will always know that Percy is not only a great friend, but he is also a really useful engine.